ahead. Play it through Little Caesars, okay, Steve? Presented by Keystone Bank. Visit them on the web at KeystoneBank.com. For Notre Dame, it'll be Garrett Regan on left wing. He's a sophomore from Hastings, Minnesota. On the right wing, a junior from Roseville, Minnesota, Mark Van Gelder. And in the middle from the defensemen are Wes O'Neill and Tom Sawatsky. And in goal, David Brown. For the Broncos, starting up front, Bisick, Letestu, and Pierce. Ludwig and Lupa on defense, and Bellissimo in goal, and we're underway. The Broncos in the white with the black pants, the white helmets, working right to left. Notre Dame in blue with the gold helmets, gold and white trim, and it's back into the Western Michigan zone, and back after it is Letestu. Plays into the corner. Page comes up with it there. Centers it. Quick shot right on, and Bellissimo with an early save on Garrett Regan. Back where they come, the Broncos. Down the ice it goes, chipped into the left corner by Bisick. Pierce runs it down in the back wall in the forward check. Broncos can't come up with it, though, and back where it comes Van Gelder for Notre Dame. Rink wide pass for Page. Sent into the zone, but the Broncos come up with it there. Chris Frank with a long lead to Gallivant, and Galley chips it into the zone. Broncos try to hold into the right side, and it's taken back by Notre Dame. Carrying the puck is Kevin Deeth. This is a dangerous line out there. Condra with Deeth in the middle, and Thang on the left wing. It's in behind the Western Michigan net, picked up there by the Broncos. Ryan Miley, out it comes to center. Noah Babin shoots it in. Blockers saved by Bellissimo, steers it to the far wall, and it's chipped out to center. Picked up there by Shahura. He's in with a Vecchio, but getting back on D to take it away was Noah Babin. Babin in behind his own net. Plays it to Condra in the corner. Out it comes to Deeth. He can't clear the zone. The Broncos, Gallivant holds it in, flips it up by Brown. He'll cover it up in the goal crease, and we get a whistle. Notre Dame leading the nation in scoring defense, giving up just 1.79 goals per game. They lead the CCHA, obviously. Western Michigan is last in team defense, giving up 4.1 goals per game. The Broncos offensively, though, doing well, 5th in the league, scoring at a .333 clip. Here's Ansel back in his own zone. Lifts it out to center. Picked up in his own end by Kyle Lawson. He'll move it up. Broncos come up with it. Ansel in his own end. Rink-wide pass for Steve Silver. Had a couple of goals last weekend. He'll flip it up by the net. It's knocked away by Brown. Out to Bartlett at center. Ahead to Gendro. Knocked away and cleared by the Broncos. In front of the Western Michigan bench. Comes back into the Broncos zone. Picked up by Silver. Sent back in by TJ Gendra. And behind the goal, Bellissimo. Left it there. Handled by Ludwig. Tyler moves it up the wall to Chris Claxon. Claxon kicks it away to Labatt, who sweeps it into the zone. The Broncos will change up. 2:20 into this one, and we are scoreless in the first period. At center ice in front of the Notre Dame bench now. Sent in by the Irish, in on the left wing side. Evan Rankin, the Portage native, puts it up by the goal crease, and Bellissimo holds on. Evans a junior now. Grew up in Kalamazoo. Portage area. Moved away to Detroit to play some midget hockey. He has 6 points this year in 17 games. He's playing on the right side with Justin White in the middle. Justin's a sophomore from Traverse City, and Dan Kissel on the left wing. Illinois native. Back of the blue line, there's a shot by Sawatsky. It was blocked to the corner. Played in behind the net by Rankin. They jam it up side of the goal. Picked up there by the Irish. Comes back to the right point. Sawatsky. There's a shot knocked away side of the goal. Ludwig trying to clear it. Now it's tapped to the corner by Shahura. Out to Matt Claxon. Claxon will send it back behind his own net to Lupa. Jonathan gathers it up there. Sends it out to Claxon at center. He'll flip it into the Notre Dame zone, and the Broncos change up again. Back after it, Big Wes O'Neill. 6'4", senior D-man. Sends it down the ice. That'll be an icing call, and we get a whistle. 3 minutes in, no score. The Broncos and Notre Dame. Same two teams here tomorrow night at 7:30. Broncos in the midst of that 8-game homestand. They'll be home again on Tuesday against Ferris State, as they wrap up the 4-game season series with the Bulldogs. And then next weekend, Alabama-Huntsville, the non-conference weekend here at Lawson Arena. Irish in their own zone trying to come up with it. They clear it down the ice. Chasing it is Garrett Regan. He's got good speed on the right side. Got there in the corner, bumped by Silver. Sent it to the back wall, and Letestu's got it. Comes Mark out of his own end. Letestu to center. The Broncos leading scorer to Bisick. He'll flip it into the corner. The Broncos in on the forecheck. Letestu, side of the net for Pierce. Bouncing puck side of the goal. Loose in the goal crease, and it's picked up by the Irish, and out comes Regan again. Ahead to Van Gelder over the line. Stripped away, but not out. Held in by Babb, and now the Broncos gather it up, and Letestu plays it to Pierce at center. Pierce with one man back. Trying to work in, and he's taken out of the play by Brock Sheehan nicely. And Regan has it away for Notre Dame. And the Irish will dump it and change. And behind the back line is Bellissimo. Leaves it there for Chris Frank. Broncos break back out. Out to center ice. Up the left wing side. Lavecchio trying to play it in. Now Frank drives it into the zone. Picked up by Wes O'Neill. He'll chip it back out of there. Ahead to Eric Condor. In behind the goal, center out of the right side. Sawatsky at the half boards, plays it back to the point for Fang. His shot deflected in front by Condra, knocked away by Bellissimo. Jam it up in the right wing corner. Deeth is there. Shahura bumping him. Now it comes to the back wall. After it there was Marley. Now Deeth has it back. It's a dangerous line. There's a bouncing puck in front of the net. Bellissimo kept it out off the deflection by Ryan Fang. It comes back into the Notre Dame zone. O'Neill's got it his own line. Chips it off the wall. Marley there to play it. Now it's sent back in by Fang as Notre Dame will change. Back in behind his own goal, Chris Frank. Frank plays it ahead. Gallivan lifts it off to Claxon. Claxon plays it down the ice. Broncos completing a line change. Kriski's over the wall. Bartlett takes it in deep. Bumped there by Frank and behind the goal. And behind the net, picked up in the end line by Chris Claxon. Plays it ahead to Labatt. Kevin chips it in deep on the back wall. Kriski in on the forecheck, but Kyle Lawson comes away with it for Notre Dame. And the Irish D-man to center over the line, and he is whistled down offside. Was Bartlett on the right wing. 14:27 left in the first period. Shots are 2 for Notre Dame, 1 for Western Michigan. No score in the game. Evan Rankin out there again with White and Kissel. Jason Mall on the draw for the Broncos. His line mates John and Matt Claxon. Behind the net is Ludwig. Tyler on the back wall. Bumped there by Rankin. Tyler fights off the check, moves it up the boards for Brett John. Tried to drive it out, but it's held in the left side. Into the corner. Now behind the net. Justin White in the corner. Now to Kissel. Kissel plays it to the corner. Now Notre Dame cycling deep in the zone, but the Broncos come up with it and get the clear. Tapping it down is Mall. It'll go all the way deep into the Notre Dame zone. Back to play it is Brock Sheehan. Native of Alberta. Up the right side to Justin White over the line. Moves around Mall with a shot right on. And Bellissimo with the trapper makes the save and holds on. 13:43 to go in the first. We're scoreless. Let's take a break on the Bronco Radio Network. Deep in the Western Michigan zone, off the jaw. It's held in by the Irish as Page plays it in behind the net. Regan trying to wrap it around. It's knocked away by the Broncos. Bicyk ahead to Pierce over the line with Letestu. Pierce walks in, shoots right on, and Brown makes the save. Deflects to the left wall. Bicyk trying to come up with it there. It's played out by Notre Dame. Page has it ahead to Sheehan. His shot deflects up into the end zone netting behind Bellissimo, and it's whistled down. Following the other games for you tonight in the CCHA. Michigan State hosting Lake Superior. Miami is at Ohio State. Alaska home hosting the Michigan Wolverines up in Fairbanks. Omaha is at Ferris. Northern hosting Bowling Green. And, of course, the Irish here at Lawson Ice Arena. The other action in the CCHA tonight. Off the face-off, O'Neill with a wrister that gets through to Bellissimo, and Danny with a catch holds on. Another draw coming up to his right. Broncos in an 8-game homestand. 2 last weekend, 2 this weekend, 1 Tuesday against Ferris, 2 next week against Huntsville, and then Michigan coming in a couple of weeks for the front end of a home and home. Shahura got waved out, so Gallivan takes the draw. It's played in deep behind the Western Michigan net. And jam it up there, poke to the corner. Deeth after it, stolen by Shahura. Across to Lavecchio. Here's Lavecchio in with Gallivan over the line. Lavecchio on the left side, plays it in deep. Deflects to the right wing corner. Ryan Fang after it, but it's sent to the net, and they score! Broncos score on the deflection in front of the net. It went off Brown into the net under the crossbar. Brown says it didn't go in, but I think Keith Surgott, who ruled it a goal, is going to go upstairs and make sure. light never came on. The puck came out of the corner, and it was deflected in under the crossbar. Our referee, Keith Surgat, will go upstairs and check it on the video. And while they do that, we'll take a break. Western Michigan 1, Notre Dame nothing in the Bronco Radio Network. It's ruled a goal. Video confirmed Keith Surgat's ruling. He was right on the goal line and ruled it in on the top shelf, just under the crossbar. It quickly came out, but it was definitely in the net. And Western Michigan on top, 1-0. One nothing Western Michigan, and the Broncos have the early lead. It's Gallivan from Shahur and Lavecchio. It's 7-17, and it's 1-0 Western Michigan. And for Gallivan, that will be his 4th goal of the season. Comes out to the blue line. There's a little wrister that deflects up by the goaltender, and Brown steers it into the corner. Broncos jam it up in the left corner. Kriske after it with Claxton. It's in behind the net. Kyle Lawson there for Notre Dame. Makes a nice move and plays it out to center. Ahead to Bartlett. He'll lift it into the zone. Cleared away by Chris Frank. Now back in comes Notre Dame. Ryan Frank. Poke check by Frank again. Frank carries it on the left side. He'll dump into the left corner. He'll head to the bench and a change. In the left corner, the Broncos cycle there. Brett John has it. He'll chip it in behind the net. After it, Brock Sheehan trying to play it out. Broncos trying to hold into the half boards. They do. Lupa whacking at it. Brett John sends it in behind the goal. Around to the left wing corner. Matt Claxton after it there. Claxton to the left board. Sends it back to the corner. Sheehan trying to ring it around to the right side. Lupa trying to hold it in, but it's a little too hot and got by him. Rolling puck all the way back down. Ludwig chases it. Tyler sends it around behind his own net. Off to Jason Mall. Ahead to Matt Claxton. Claxton chips into the Notre Dame zone. Eric Condra has it there. Condra with a lead to Ryan Fang over the line on the right side. Wrist shot right on and a save by Bellissimo. 11:05 left in the first. It's 1-0 Western Michigan on the goal by Patrick Gallivan. Both teams change up. Out comes Shahura with Gallivan and Lavecchio. Ansel and Steve Silver. Justin White with Rankin and Kissel out for Jeff Jackson's Fighting Irish. Off the face-off, Lavecchio has it in the corner. Lavecchio out of his own zone. Lavecchio to center. Jeff for the burst. Taps it into the Notre Dame end. All the way around to the right side it goes on the right wing wall. Held in there by Shahur at the half boards and picked up by Notre Dame. They'll lift it out. Pierce runs it down, plays it to the neutral zone, picked up by Notre Dame, and back in they come. Lifted in with a backhand flip by Justin White. Bellissimo knocks it down behind the net, away to Silver. Silver lifts it out to center. Picked up in the neutral zone by the Broncos, Shahura. He'll carry it in over the line on the left side. Shahura right out in front of the net. It's picked up there by Justin White. Taps it away out of harm's way to the side wall. Now picked up in the corner. Now in behind the net, played by Notre Dame. Turning with it is Sawatsky, sends it over to O'Neill, deep in the corner. Notre Dame unable to get the clear, and finally they just ring it all the way down. They waved the icing, though. They said Ansel could have played it. Nathan runs it down back in his own zone. Notre Dame makes a change. Here comes Ansel out of his own zone with speed to center ice. Moves it ahead for Bicyk, knocked away by Notre Dame. Van Gelder offside. It's whistled down. Page played it in, and Van Gelder was in the zone. 1-0 Western Michigan on the goal by Gallivan. 9:51 left in the first. 7:17 time of that Gallivan goal from Lavecchio and Shahura. the draw. Reagan plays it in. It's played back out of there by Lupa. Chasing it back in his own end is Brock Sheehan. Sheehan sets up behind his own net. Sends it around the boards to Van Gelder out of the zone to center. Back into the Western Michigan zone, and Letestu back to play. Drops it back for Lupa. Jonathan back in his own end. Lupa for Western Michigan. Chips it off the glass to Gallivan. He'll deflect it into the zone. Chasing it for Notre Dame is Sheehan. On the back wall, Gallivan and Bicek in there trying to come up with it. Now Notre Dame gets the clear. They'll just send it all the way down. Knocked away by the Broncos, Bellissimo, and he'll hold on. 9:12 left in the first. 1-0 Western Michigan. Let's take a break and hear this on the Bronco Radio Network. Michigan in on Brown. The shot went through the goal crease, comes back to Ansel left point with a drive. That was deflected to the corner. Chris Claxton has it at the half wall, throws it at the net. Played away by Lawson, the D-man, out to Bartlett. Bartlett to center. Comes across to TJ Gindra. He'll fire it in. It's offside against Notre Dame. Looking for back-to-back wins after knocking off Miami. Knocking Miami out of first place with that win last week. Notre Dame with 19 wins. Has more wins already this season. With over a month to play. More wins this season than they've had in the last 2 seasons combined. How about that? Fine year. Here's Lawson back in his own zone. Fires it in. Knocked away by Bellissimo. In behind the net to Lupa. Lupa leaves it for Ludwig. And Tyler chips it off the glass. That'll go all the way down, and they'll whistle that one down for icing, and they'll bring the draw back to the Western Michigan end. So let's hear this from Shark Wash. 1-0 Broncos on the Bronco Radio Network. The face-off, shot from the blue line by Sawatsky, was wide of the net. It's picked up by the Broncos, and out comes Gallivan. Patrick Gallivan over the line to the right side. Crisscrossing with Lavecchio. Sends it to Lavecchio for the redirection, and he couldn't get his stick at it. Comes upside of the net, and the Irish have it away. Sawatsky plays it out to Ryan Thang, trying to work around Marley, but Ryan Marley, the senior D-man, knocks it away from the rookie from Notre Dame. The Irish dump it in. Marley's got it back, chips it out to Lavecchio. Got knocked down by Sawatsky, but still controls it. Moves it across to Frank. Chris Frank ahead to Shahura. Picked up, though, by Deeth for Notre Dame. Deeth back to Big Wes O'Neill. O'Neill plays it to center for Condra. Over the line to Thang on the left wing side. He's in with Deeth. In behind the goal. After it is Marley. Sends it around to Pierce, and the Broncos break back out. Here comes Western Michigan. Letestu, Bicek and Pierce, 3 abreast. Pierce shoots right on, Brown with a save. Rebound in front, it's cleared away by Notre Dame. Batted out of the zone with a swat of the right hand by Eric Condra. They're going to bring the faceoff back in the Notre Dame zone. 7:26 left in the first. It's 1-0 Western Michigan. Steve Ballet, our producer, back in the studio. Daniel Jankowski, our statistician. Final night in the final weekend in the WMU Boston Ice Arena press box. He moves on to a new opportunity in Chicago with the Chicago Fire, the Major Soccer League. Here we go. This is Notre Dame out of their own zone. Noah Babin to center. Penalty coming up to Western Michigan. Drop pass, Page with a shot right on. Bellissimo with a save. It's touched up by Claxton, and now Keith Surgott's whistle blows, and we're going to get a holding call to the Broncos. First penalty of the night goes to Brett John of the Broncos. Notre Dame on the man advantage. And the Irish are fourth in the league in the power play, 20%, 27 power play goals and 134 chances. Broncos on the penalty kill are last in the league. They've given up 33 power play goals and 144 power play chances by the opponent. It's 77%. So if they can keep this lead and hold off the Irish on the man advantage. Here's O'Neill along the blue line to Josh Skiba to Regan. Shoots. It's blocked by Ludwig. Comes back to O'Neill on the left side. In the left circle. Lavecchio taps it back to the point, but not out. O'Neill with a shot. That hit Ansel. Nathan sends it back to the blue line, but O'Neill held it into the right point. Now it's knocked away by Shahur, but not out of the zone. Regan held it into the half boards. Back to O'Neill at the right point. Left point. Van Gelder back to O'Neill. O'Neill stick handling on the left side. Bumped all the way by Shahura. Into the corner. This is Jason Page. Walks in, shoots, and a knock away by Bellissimo. Skiba has it back at the right point. Into the corner for Regan. Now behind the net. Center around. O'Neill is in the left corner. Plays it back to the left point to Van Gelder. Over to Skiba to O'Neill in the left circle. Diagonal to Regan. Broken up by Ludwig, and Tyler shoots it down the ice. Broncos get a new foursome out there in the penalty kill as Maul comes out with Frank, Claxton, and Marley. Here's Noah Babin up the left side to Deep, who shoots it in. And behind the goal. Into the left wing corner. Comes back to the point, held in by Babin, now knocked away by the Broncos, but not out. Held in by Notre Dame. Comes back to Lawson to the blue line, and it bounced over his stick out of the zone. Irish have to regroup in the neutral zone. Now Lawson plays it all the way back down as Claxton got his stick on it too. Babin away for Notre Dame out of his own end. Here comes Noah Babin to center over the line on the right side with Eric Condra. Babin leaves it for Condra. Gives it back to Babin. There's a shot. Bellissimo knocks it down. It's up underneath his glove, and he's got it though. And 18 seconds remain in the penalty to Brett John. 5:29 left in the first. 1-0 Western Michigan on the goal under the crossbar behind Brown by Patrick Calavan. Lawson lunatic student crowd out in force. Off the face-off, back to the left point. There's a shot by Babin, knocked away, and it's cleared by the Broncos. 10 seconds left to go in the power play. In behind the goal, Lawson there for Notre Dame. Back with it comes Babin up the left side. Deep moves to the center. Broncos back at full strength. John is out of the box. Bisick trying to hold into the blue line, does, but now Notre Dame has it. And out with it comes Deep to Condra over the line on the left side. Condra fell down and a penalty coming up to Western Michigan. They call the hook to the Broncos. Mark Letestu wanted to dive, but Keith Sergat calls the hooking penalty to Western Michigan. It's going to go to Brian Bisick, and the Irish will be right back on the man advantage. They trail 1-0. We'll be back in the Bronco Radio Network. Hooking penalty at 15:04 to Brian Bisick. In the left corner, Frank trying to come up with it. Now it's in behind the goal. Regan plays it back to the point for Skiba. Skiba along the blue line to O'Neill. Knocked away by Shahura, and Shahura plays it all the way down. Let's pause now 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Bronco Radio Network. Broncos in their own end, able to come up with it again, and Jason Maul out on the penalty kill. Whacks it down the ice, heads to the bench and a change. Out comes Ansel with Ludwig, Letestu, and Claxton. Minute left to go on the penalty to Isaac. 1-0 Western Michigan. 4 minutes to play in this first period. Letestu on a back check comes up with a errant pass in the neutral zone and clears it down the ice. Irish regrouping, out they come. Here's Babin to center ice. Babin with a burst over the line on the left side. He'll carry it up the left wall all the way to the net. Now he'll peel off into the corner. Sets up for the half boards. In behind the goal for Jason Deep. On the right side of Lawson. The D-man stepping up to the circle. Sends it to Deep in the corner. Deep in behind the goal. Back to the left point, Babin. Babin with a wrister. Knocked down in front by Ludwig. Comes back to Lawson to the right point. Left circle with a diagonal pass for Thang. It bounced off his stick to the corner. Alcondra has it. To Deep behind the end line. To Lawson at the point. His shot's blocked by Claxon. Claxon got knocked down. Bronco bench wanted interference. They're not going to get it. 8 seconds left to go in the Bisic penalty. 3 minutes left to go in the first. In the neutral zone, picked up by Deep over the line on the left wing side. Deep with a shot. Bellissimo steers it in behind the net. It's up on the back of the net, picked up by the Irish. Comes back to the blue line. Sheehan plays it in deep, and Frank there for the Broncos. Western Michigan killing off both early Notre Dame power plays in this hockey game. The Broncos send it to Link for an icing call, and we get a whistle. 2:36 left to go in the first. It's 1-0 Western Michigan. We'll be back on the Bronco Radio Network. The face-off, Sawatsky with a shot from the point that Bellissimo knocks away. Now Ludwig after it. He'll chip it up and out of play onto the Bronco bench. Riley Gill there tosses it into the seats for a souvenir. The young man behind the Bronco bench will go home with the puck. Compliments of Riley Gill. 2:21 left in the first period. It's 1-0 Western Michigan on the goal by Patrick Gallivan. Face off to the right of Bellissimo. Notre Dame out shooting the Broncos 14-5. Off the draw, Irish have it, and Lawson sends it in. Justin White in the left corner, bumped there by Silver, played in behind the goal. After it, the Irish come up with it. In the right wing corner, this is Kissel. He's bumped by Silver. Kissel got it back along the right wall. Kissel wheeling in that right corner. In the right circle, his shot deflects up into the end zone netting across the way, and it's whistled down. 1:57 left in the first period. Irish have had 2 power play opportunities that the Broncos have killed off. Broncos still looking for their first man advantage, but they might have to wait a long time. Notre Dame, the least penalized team in the league. Off the draw. It's won by Western Michigan. Broncos can't get the clear, but we're going to get a penalty to Notre Dame. We're going to get a tripping call to the Irish as Tyler Ludwig was tripped trying to come up with that loose puck off the faceoff. And into the box goes Josh Skiba. Letestu on the draw. He's out there with Shahura, Pierce, Bisic, and Marley manning the points. Broncos on the power play, 9th in the league at 16%, 21 for 127. Notre Dame on the penalty kill ranks number 2 in the league. Killed off 89%. Giving up just 13 power play goals this year. On the left side, here's Letestu. Plays it at the corner. Sent out in front for Pierce. He got tied up. Now Shahura back to the left side for Letestu. Mark back along the blue line. Winds up, shoots, and it deflected wide of the net. Right in the left wing corner. Comes back to Mark Letestu at the left point. Letestu with Marley. And now it's played back to center, and Bisic after it. Ryan retreats back behind his own goal. 1:15 left to go in the Bronco power play. Notre Dame changing up from the kill with a minute to go in the period. Here's Letestu to center. He'll fire it in. Rings it around behind Brown to the right wing corner. Broncos in there after it. Kevin Labatt after it. Picked up by Notre Dame, trying to clear it. They can't. It's held in by the Broncos. Gallivan. Patrick Pat to Ludwig at the left point. Tyler along the blue line. Fakes the shot. Moves to his right. Over on the right wall. Back to the left point for Gallivan. Gallivan. Back to Ludwig. Ludwig, stick handling at the top. Works to the slot. Shoots wide of the goal. And behind the goal, Gallivan. Back to Lavecchio at the right wall. Lavecchio sent it to the corner, and Lawson there to pick it off and play it out to center ice. Here comes Notre Dame the other way. Over the line on the left side. Here's the pass to Van Gilder, knocked away by Bellissimo. 20 seconds left in the period. Isaac taps it in behind his own net, and out he comes. As Van Gelder heads to the bench on a line change. Here comes Isaac to center. He'll fire it in. Bouncing puck on Brown. He'll cover it up in the goal crease, and with 6 seconds left in the period, the Broncos get the face-off in the Notre Dame end. 1-0 Western Michigan on the goal by Pat Gallivan. For Gally, his 4th goal of the season and 5th of his career. A sophomore from Oak Park. Patrick won a couple of Broncos, played down in Texas. On the back wall, this is Shahura. Comes back to the right side, and it's cleared out of there as the horn sounds. The first period comes to an end. Patrick Gallivan, the lone scorer in the first period. Broncos are outshot 14-6, but they lead it 1-0. As Daniel Bellissimo stops all 14 Notre Dame first period shots. Broncos 1, Notre Dame nothing. We'll be back with our Maple Auto Group first intermission in a moment. This is the Broncos. Superior service, fair prices. Buy Coca-Cola whenever you're Western Michigan. It's always Coca-Cola, always a champion, always Coca-Cola. And by WSI Workforce Strategies Incorporated. Don't be caught short-handed. For employment and staffing services for multiple industries, called WSI 488-5100. WSI putting talent to work. Broncos open up on the power play for 8 seconds. The Broncos' initial power play opportunity of the game. Notre Dame on the man up twice in the first period. The Broncos once carrying over the second period. Keith Surgat, our referee, has the puck at center ice. Letestu will take the draw. He wins it back to Lupa. And the final seconds of the man advantage ticking off. Josh Skiba set to come out of the box. And Notre Dame at full strength. Jeff Pierce has it to the goal, though. Shoots right on, and Brown with a save. It's in behind the net. Into the corner, Pierce after. Sends it back around to the left corner. Isaac runs it down there at the half boards. Cycles it back to the corner, Letestu. Letestu shoots right on. Stick saved by Brown. Rebound right in front of the net. Bouncing puck in the slot, and it's cleared away by Notre Dame. Irish have it back at center. Here's Skiba over the line on the left wing side. Josh Skiba shoots loose in front of the net. It's cleared away back to the blue line. A collision at the net. Comes off behind Danny, and it's whistled down. While they put that back in place, we'll pause for this. 1-0 Broncos in the Bronco Radio Network. Out there with Shahura, Lavecchio, and Gallivan. Face-off in front of the Notre Dame bench. Sticks her down. Deeth won the face-off. Notre Dame in the dark blue working right to left here in this second period. In behind the goal is Bellissimo. Leaves it there for Chris Frank. Frank trying to play it back to the point. Does, but O'Neill held it in. O'Neill plays it off the back wall, bouncing puck behind the Western Michigan net. And it's up on the back of the net, and it's whistled down by Keith Surgat. We'll get a draw in the Western Michigan zone. Just about a minute into this second period, the Broncos on top 1-0. If you just joined us, Ed Gallivan with a goal in the first period. He threw one out of the corner, deflected up under the crossbar behind David Brown. Off the face-off, Notre Dame won it. Holding it in on the left side is Condra, sends it in behind the goal. Picked up there by Ryan Thang. Centers in front for Deep. His shot went over the crossbar. Deep trying to come up with it on the side of the net. Right around the boards for the Broncos, and out with it comes Gallivan. Sends it down. Thang after it. Trying to clear it. Lavecchio trying to hold it in. Jeff Lavecchio on the right side. Sends it in deep from his knees. In behind the goal. Chasing it is Chris Claxton on the forecheck. He can't come up with it. And it's pulled out of there by the Irish to center. Marley plays it away and over the line to Chris Claxton, offside. Whistle down. One nothing. Western Michigan on top. Minute and a half into this second period at Lawson Arena. Claxton will take the draw against TJ Gindra. Gindra won it. Back to the defenseman Brett Blatchford from Temperance, Michigan. Played for the Texas Tornado. From teammate Riley Gill. Here's Ansel sending it down the ice. Sent back down by Notre Dame into the zone. There's a quick shot, and Gill, or rather Danny Bellissimo making the stop. On the left side, now we're going to get a penalty as it's an interference call coming up to the Broncos. It's Sergat calling the interference penalty against Western Michigan. It'll go to Chris Claxton. Nope, it's Steve Silver. Steve Silver in the penalty box. 17, not 27. And so Steve goes into the box, and Notre Dame will have its third power play opportunity. Off the face-off, this is played out to center ice. Bouncing puck, knocked away, and the Broncos come up with it. Shahura's in shorthanded with Lavecchio. Lavecchio in front on the dish from Shahura. Couldn't come up with it. It's played behind the net. Picked up by O'Neill, and out he comes. O'Neill up the left side to Garrett Regan. He'll shoot it in. Sends it around on the right side. Shahura trying to get the clear. The half boards on the right side. On the back wall, Van Gelder after it. Now Ludwig comes up with it. Tyler Ludwig moves it around. Picked up by Tyler again on the feet from Shahura, and Ludwig will shoot it down the ice. Notre Dame regroups. Here they come again. O'Neill on the right wing side to Van Gelder, shoots it in behind the net. Bouncing puck side of the goal. Page couldn't come up with it. Now it's sent around on the right side, held in by Babin. Bouncing puck up behind the goal, played around the wall by Marley. Comes back to the left point, O'Neill. Sends it in behind the goal. Ansel after it in the corner. Fights off Garrett Regan. Now comes back to the blue line. O'Neill held it in. To the left point for the drive by Van Gelder. That was knocked away. Side of the goal. Loose out in front, and now we're going to get a penalty to Notre Dame. Hooking call to the Irish, and that'll even things up. Now, I misspoke when I said Brett Blatchford played with Riley Gill. Riley played in Texarkana. Blatchford played junior hockey for the Texas Tornado with Tyler Ludwig. So get that straight. Riley played in Texarkana. Now we'll go forward side, and then the Broncos will have power play here shortly. Over the line on the left side is Lavecchio. Jeff with a shot, deflected wide to the corner. Picked up by Kissel. He'll fire it out of the zone. Chris Frank levels Ryan Thang. Here's Ludwig at his own line. Stick handling. Right around Thang. Carries to center. Ludwig over the line to Gallivan. Patrick Gallivan had it poked away, and back down goes Frank to run it down for Western Michigan. Big Chris Frank plays it off the boards. Ahead for Shahura. It's stolen away. by Noah Babin. And Babin went down. They're going to call a penalty here to Western Michigan. Touched by Gallivan. They call the Broncos on the trip. Hooking call to Western Michigan. And that didn't look like a penalty to me. It looked like his feet just came out from under it. But they're going to call Gallivan for the hook. Students didn't agree with it. 4 minutes gone in the second period. 1-0 Western Michigan. And so now Broncos will be 2 men short for 1 second, and Silver will come back out. And it'll be 4-4. Hooking call to Gallivan at 3:54. Shahura on the face-off for the Broncos. Won it. Plays it to the back wall to Frank. Chris sends it behind the goal. Silver's out of the box. Broncos and Notre Dame 4-on-4 now. Here's Shahura. Marley, rather, back in his own end. He'll fire it all the way down. And that'll be an icing call against the Broncos. 15:50 left in the second. 1-0 Broncos. Now this on the Bronco Radio Network. On the left wall in the Western Michigan zone. Broncos trying to come up with it. They do. Letestu with a nice move around Sheehan. Carries to center over the line to Pierce. Pierce trying to go back to Letestu. Letestu went down trying to stop. And back comes Notre Dame the other way. Rock Sheehan on the right side. Into the right wing corner. Bumped there by Letestu. And behind the goal. Saved by Bellissimo. Rebound side of the net. Deep trying to come up with it. It's up on the back of the goal. Deep on the back wall. It's cleared back to the point and out of the zone to center. Still four-side as Noah Babin backpedals for it for Notre Dame. Moves it up the left side, and O'Neal will skate it in on the left wing. His shot deflected by Ansel wide of the goal. Right into the corner. Deep after it there. Moves around Shahura. In behind the goal to O'Neal. Throws it out in front on the stick to Lavecchio, and Jeff skates it away. Here's Lavecchio for Western Michigan. Sends it in. Notre Dame on the power play now for 30 seconds. As Gallivan is still in there. It's 5-on-4 Notre Dame. They trail 1-0. Out of his own zone. Carrying the play is Tom Sawatsky. In behind the net. Into the right wing corner of Van Gelder. He's knocked off the puck. Sawatsky held it in. Shot right on it. Bellissimo with the blocker's save. Flex over to Bisick. Long lead to center for Lavecchio. Jeff's in. Shoots. Score! Stays red hot. He's factored in both goals tonight. Assist and now a goal, and Western Michigan on top, 2-0. Jeff Lavecchio for Western Michigan, shorthanded, his 12th goal of the season. 2-0 Western Michigan on the goal by Lavecchio. Boy, used the defender as a screen, and Brown never saw it. As Lavecchio reached around the defender and beat Brown on the right side. Ball gets the assist. 5:47 time of the goal. Two 2-0 Western Michigan on top over the third-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Off the face-off, played by the Notre Dame defenseman Lawson into the zone. Ansel sends it up in the glass, trying to clear the zone. He did pass Blatchford. Gallivan's out of the box. The Broncos at full strength. Silver back in his own zone. Now Skiva's got on the right side. Plays it up the back wall into the left wing corner. DJ Gindra sends it back around for Bartlett. Broken up by the Broncos and chipped out of there by Gallivan. And it went up onto the Notre Dame bench. And now Matt Claxton bumping over there with one of the Notre Dame players in front of the Irish bench. So with this pause, we'll take a timeout. It's 2-0 Western Michigan on the Bronco Radio Network. Sawatsky held it in, shot right on it. Score! On his save. Flex over to Bicek. Long lead to center for Lavecchio. Jeff's in. Bicek. Long lead to center. Flex over to Bicek. Jeff Lavecchio with 2 more points. He was the CCHA Offensive Player of the Week with a 6-point weekend, 3-3 against Miami, and now already with 2 points tonight against Notre Dame on a goal and a helper. Off the face-off of the Notre Dame end, the Irish come up with it, and out they come. Long lead to Kissel. Pass goes all the way through to Danny, and he'll cover it up in front of the goal crease and hold on. 2-0 Broncos. Now this in the Bronco Radio Network. In the Notre Dame end, the Irish slipped it up but hit the Bronco bench out of play, and it's whistled down. The faceoff will come outside the Notre Dame line. 13-14 left in the second period. Gallivan in the first, Lavecchio in the second. Vecchio's goal from Jason Maul. Gallivan scoring from Lavecchio and Shahur in the first period. Notre Dame out shooting the Broncos 17-9, but the Broncos lead it 2-0. Western Michigan has dominated the series with Notre Dame. And the games played at Lawson Ice Arena, the Broncos are 19-4-1 over the years. So Lawson has been good to the Broncos when they play Notre Dame. Both teams changing up here as Shahur's line comes out. Gallivan and Lavecchio on his wings. The Deeth line out there. Kevin Deeth centering Ryan Thang and Eric Condra, 2 freshmen, and Condra the sophomore. Here's Frank carrying the play up the left side. He'll tap it into the Notre Dame zone. On the wall block, Sheehan plays it around to Thang. Held in though by Marty. In deep to Gallivan. Patrick into the back wall. He's tied up by Brock Sheehan, and we get a whistle. Puck was gloved ahead and blown dead by Surgat, and we'll bring it back out for the faceoff. 12:47 to go in the second period. 2-0 Western Michigan. Now Notre Dame will change, and so will Jim Culhane as Shahur, Lavecchio, and Gallivan go out. They want to keep those guys on the ice when Deeth's line is out there. So if they go off, Shahur will go off with his line mates. And Letestu's out there with Pearson Bicek. Off the draw. O'Neal plays it as center. Over the line on the right wing side. Ben Gilder with a shot. Save Bellissimo. Rebound. Garrett Regan. That one didn't get through. Ben Gilder has it back in the corner. He's bumped there by the Broncos' Frank. Now Regan on the back wall. Bumping with Marley. Regan stick handling in the corner. Garrett sends it over to Van Gelder. Back to the left point. O'Neal. His shot was blocked by Pierce. Sent back in by O'Neal. Deep. Played by Bellissimo's side of the goal. And Marley's got it. Marley up to Letestu. Lifts it out to center ice. Played away from Bicek by O'Neal. Now picked up in the neutral zone by Letestu. Mark carries it in on the left wing side. Had to drag it up. It was poke checked away. It's back in behind the goal though. Bicek after it. He got knocked down and Notre Dame skates it away. Up the right side, Sawatsky plays it into Van Gilder. Into the corner. Van Gilder took a bump from Frank. Now Van Gilder's got it back. Plays it in the back wall to Regan. Garrett Regan, bumped there by Silver. Silver leaves it for Frank. And Chris clears the zone to center. Played by Blatchford. Blatchford for Notre Dame. Play penalty call as Deeth taps it in deep. Deeth hammered to the ice by Chris Frank. And now the penalty. The 11:24 left in the second period. Penalty to the Broncos. Chris Frank going to the bench Yep. Brings the tank. Chance go up. This heads to the penalty box. And Notre Dame back on the man advantage. Notre Dame power play when we return. They trail the Broncos 2-0 on the Bronco Radio Network. Draws a 4-minute penalty. So Notre Dame on the man advantage. Irish 0 for 3 on the power play. Their second man advantage of this second period. They were 0 for 2 in the first period on the man up. In the corner, here's Condra, chipped out of there by Shahura. Back to center. Noah Babin backpedaling has it. Babin heads back in behind his own net, being chased by Lavecchio. Now out comes Babin to center ice. Noah Babin with a burst over the line on the right wing side. Jumps over the defender. Shahura plays it in behind the goal. Now Deeth has it in the right corner. Deeth, the slick centerman. Kevin Deeth for Notre Dame. Over to Ryan Thang on the right side. Back to Deeth in the corner. Deep back to the right point. Babin plays it to Lawson, back to Babin. Babin with a shot, blocked in front by Ludwig. Bouncing puck, Lavecchio can't knock it down. It's held in by the Irish. Then one of the Broncos got upended in the corner. That was Ludwig, and Notre Dame will be penalized. Kevin Deeth goes for tripping Tyler Ludwig. Deeth not big. He's 5'7". Green Bay Gamblers. He's got some quickness. Gig Harbor, Washington. He's got 26 points coming in a nice game this rookie year. Young kid too. 19-year-old. Young for a freshman in college hockey. Here we go, 4 side right now. 10:25 to go in the second period. 2-0 Western Michigan. There's a rink wide pass for Pierce, who got a stick free and whacks it into the zone, up the left wall. And behind the goal. Sheehan, after it, fell down. Leteste, who tried to take it away behind the goal. Now played back to the left point. Ansel's got it. Nathan along the blue line. Plays it off the half boards to Pierce. Jeff Pierce turning. Leaves it for Leteste. Up the slot to Ansel with a shot. That was deflected by Van Gilder to the corner. Garrett Regan has it out to center to Van Gilder. Turns, head back to his own line, and now heads back up and skates it on the right side. Van Gilder trying to work around Ansel. Plays it to the back wall. Now Van Gilder up the left wing side. Drops it back to Regan in the corner. He's tied up by Silver. Regan in behind the net. Leaves it out in front. Picked off by Pierce, who cleared down the ice. That'll be an icing call against Western Michigan. And the face-off back in the Western Michigan zone. 9.5 to go in the second period. 2-0 Western Michigan. Notre Dame out shooting the Broncos 20-9, but they trail 2-0. The jaw, Kissel won it back to Lawson. Right point, Blatchford. Brett Blatchford with a shot, deflected to the left side. Bisick runs it down. Ryan turning at his own line, now heads to center. Stick handles, works around Kissel, taps it up the left side. And it's poked away by Blatchford, and back comes Kissel up the right side. His pass intercepted in the neutral zone by Marley. Marley to the Notre Dame line, picked up by Blatchford. Sent it to center ice. Now Lawson has it for Notre Dame. Kyle Lawson in front of his own bench. Plays it up the right side. Poke check by Marley. Over to Bisick. Bisick to Marley in behind the net. To the corner for Gallivan. Gallivan trying to chip it out to Ludwig. Does so. To center ice for Bisick. Bouncing puck. Ryan couldn't pick it off. Now he'll have it on the left side, but it's offside. He was in before the bouncing puck. And whistled down. 2-0 Broncos. Now this on the Bronco Radio Network. 3 seconds left in Kevin Dietz' penalty, and they'll have about a minute 10 of power play. Out comes Dietz. Man advantage for Notre Dame. They trail 2-0. Here's Eric Condra, bumped by Jason Ball, knocked him off the puck. Dietz has it, throws it back to his own zone for Noah Babin. Ahead to Dietz. And Dietz shoots it in. Sends it around to the right side. On the right wall, Broncos Maul comes up with it, and Jason clears it down the ice. Lavecchio skating hard, trying to beat Babin to it. He does. Now it's in behind the goal, and Lavecchio heads to the bench. Jeff Lavecchio working hard all the time. On the left wing side, here's Dietz tapping into the zone. After it is Lupa. Dietz and Lupa. They crash on the back wall. Comes out to Claxon. That trying to poke it out of the zone. He does. And lunge at it. He got his stick at it and poked it out of the zone. Past Babin. Now Fang has it, turning at center. Here he comes. 18 seconds left in the power play. Ryan Fang is in on the left wing side. Bumped by Ansel. Fang still has it. Sends it to the right point. Lost it. Left point, Babin. Shot deflected wide of the net. Loose out in front, and Letestu's got it. Here's Mark to center ice. Power play is over. The Broncos kill it off. Frank out of the box. 7:20 left in the second. 2-0 Western Michigan. Out he comes to center. Marley after it. Now Dietz got it. He'll shoot it in. And behind the goal, Lavecchio leaves it for Ludwig. Tyler Ludwig for the Broncos, tied up by Kissel, moves it over to Marley. Marley for Western Michigan, skates it away for the Broncos. Over the line on the right wing side, tapping it in deep. Krisky on the bat after it, but it's icing against the Broncos. 2-0 Western Michigan, 6:59 to go in the second. Now this on the Bronco Radio Network. Sophomore Justin White out there to take the face-off for Notre Dame against Breschat. They jam it up in the corner, comes back to Blatchford, the left point. His shot was blocked by Maul. Blatchford got it back. Maul working hard. Now Maul chips it down the ice. On the pass from his own end. Chases it on the forecheck. Puts a body on of Sawatsky. They jam it up in the left corner. Ball and Claxon for Western Michigan. And behind the goal, played by Blatchford. Now back to Sawatsky, the assistant captain for Notre Dame. Will head to Blatchford, and Brett skates it to the neutral zone. He's in on the left wing. Brett Blatchford carries it in deep, throws it to goal, and stick to the corner by Bellissimo. Comes back to the left point. Kissel held it in. Sends it in deep. Rankin after it. Tied up by Chris Frank, and behind the goal, Evan Rankin has it back to the top of the circle for a block. Sheehan blast, and Bellissimo makes the save and holds on. 6:08 left in the second. 2-0 Western Michigan. We'll be back on the Bronco Radio Network. Draw, the Broncos skated in. Letestu trying to wheel by the defense, had a poke checked away. Now Ludwig has it back at center. He'll send it back in. And on the forecheck, Letestu trying to come up with it there. Throws a hand out and tackles Noah Babin, and Letestu is going to go to the box for the hold. Penalty on the Broncos, another Notre Dame power play. It's Western Michigan 2, Notre Dame nothing on the Bronco Radio Network. Notre Dame on their 7th man advantage of the game. They're 0 for 6. The Broncos 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Here's Blatchford back in his own zone. Here comes Brett Blatchford Blatchford from Temperance, Michigan. Over the line to White, who shoots it in. A couple of Michigan natives there. White from Traverse City, Blatchford from Temperance, Michigan. And behind the goal, Evan Rankin, another Michigan native. Back to the right point, Blatchford. To Kissel. Back to the right point, Blatchford. Left circle, Lawson. There's a quick shot. And a save by Bellissimo. On the one-timer by Kissel from the right face-off circle. 25% of the Western Michigan roster is from the state of Michigan. Notre Dame has a few Michigan players. Skiba's from Westland, Condra's from Livonia, Page is from Saginaw, Blatchford from Temperance, Rankin from Portage, and White from Traverse City. That too is 7 players in the lineup from Michigan. Here we go on the right side. It's held in by the Broncos. Ludwig will shoot it down the ice. Minute 19 left in the power play. 5 minutes left in the second period. 2-0 Western Michigan. 22-9 Notre Dame out shooting the Broncos, but they trail 2-0. Tapped up the right side by Lawson and deep. It's Ludwig, picked up by Jason Mall. Mall ahead to Matt Claxton, trying to poke it out of there. Held in by the Irish. Now Ansel comes up with it and fires it down the ice. 55 seconds left to go in the Letestu penalty. 4:35 left in the second period. Notre Dame with their 7th power play of the game. Kissel shooting it in. And it's an icing call against Notre Dame. He was behind center ice when he fired that in. 45 seconds left to go in the Letestu penalty. Stay with us in our Maple Auto Group second intermission. We'll go around the league and around the nation on this Friday night in college hockey. Some updated scores. It's coming up between periods. And behind the goal, Wes O'Neill. Shahura trying to tie it up and burn some clock, and stuck out of there by Babin. Babin plays away to center for Deet. Kevin Deet over the line on the right side. Works around Frank, puts it on goal. It's knocked away by Bellissimo. Now into the left wing corner, Ryan Thang after. To O'Neill at the point. Right point to Babin. Left point O'Neill. O'Neill to the half boards. Turning with it is Thang to the slot. Waiting, holding, shooting. Knocked away. Bellissimo covers it up again. Danny with a great play. Out to the left of the goal crease, making that save. 13 seconds left to go on the Letestu penalty. Jason Mall out there with Matt Claxton, Silver, and Ansel on the penalty kill. Sticks her down. And the draw is won by the Broncos. Ansel lifts it out and bouncing down the ice it goes. A rolling puck deep into the Notre Dame end. Lawson back after. Claxton on the forecheck. And the power play is over. Letestu out of the box. The Broncos kill it off. Notre Dame 0 for 7 on the man advantage. And it's carried in offside against Notre Dame. We have a pause. 2-0 Broncos. Now this on the Bronco Radio Network. Center ice, Lawson moves it over the line of Van Gelder, walks in, shoots in, Bellissimo with another stop. His 24th save of the game. Now the junior netminder from Toronto has had his struggles this year, but boy, if he could get hot at just the right time, and along with Riley Gill, give him a 1-2 punch in that goal crease. Coach Culhane playing Riley Gill, not hesitating to do so, and it's made Danny work harder. Here we go. Labatt shoots it in, and behind the net, knocked down by Brown. Chris Claxton trying to knock it away. Back where comes the Irish, up the right wing side. Stolen away by Labatt as he picked it clean from T.J. Gindra. And a rolling puck back into the Notre Dame zone. Sheehan has it, can't clear it, held in by Claxton, ahead to Kriske. Kriske drops it off to Labatt. Kevin shoots, knocked away by Brown. Comes back to the left point, Ludwig. Ludwig lifts it in behind the goal to Labatt. Kevin Labatt on the right wing corner. Labatt for Western Michigan. Sends it back to Claxton. Over to Kriske. Dave Kriske. Over on the right side, pokes it into the corner. Knocked down by Brock Sheehan. A penalty coming up for the Irish. Western Michigan will have the power play as Notre Dame touches it up. Broncos on the man advantage for the second time tonight, leading 2-0 on the Bronco Radio Network. Job by that line of Kriske, Claxton, and Labatt to draw the penalty, and now Western Michigan has it on the right side. Bicek shooting it in behind the goal to Pierce. Broncos on the man advantage. Irish trying to clear it. It's held in by Marley. Now it's poked away from him. Here's a 2-on-1 for Notre Dame. Up the right side, Regan over the line. Hustling back is Marley. Regan shoots, tried to go upstairs, and it went off the back glass. Picked up by Shahurov behind his own net, and out comes Chewy. Up the left side for Pierce. Poked away, and Marley's got it back. Marley sends it down, now intercepted in the neutral zone by Letestu. He whacked at it out of midair, and now he picks it off the stick of Bartlett. Moves it over to Pierce. Knocked away by Bartlett. And Bartlett turns back in his own zone. Over to Sawatsky, sends it to the neutral zone, and Letestu knocked it down. Leaves it for Shahura, who wheels back in his own end, and here comes Paul with a burst over the line. Fakes the shot. Carries it to the right circle. Throws it out in front. Bicek couldn't get his stick on the deflection. Comes back to Marley at the point. He lost it. Now a breakaway for Notre Dame. Here comes Condra over the line. Condra in on goal. And Bellissimo makes the save with the right pad on the air. Condra breakaway. Broncos drive it back in. Shahura sends it in deep. Fans on their feet applauding Danny with a breakaway save. Irish send it back down into the Western Michigan end. Bellissimo knocks it down. Here comes Ludwig. Ahead to Lavecchio over the line. Lavecchio kicks it over the line, and it's offside. Whistled down. 50 seconds left in the period. 2-0 Western Michigan. Will be back in the Bronco Radio Network. Shot from the point, didn't get through. Rebound to Lavecchio. His shot knocked away by Brown. Into the right wing corner. Broncos still on the man advantage for 11 seconds. In the right corner, Kriske tried to come up with it. Couldn't quite reach it. Comes back to the blue line and bounces past Ansel down the ice. Final seconds of this man advantage will tick off. 20 seconds left to go in the period. Brock Sheehan's out of the box. Notre Dame kills it off. Ludwig moves it ahead to Kriske. It's knocked out. And now they're going to call a penalty to Dave Kriske, and that was a terrible call by Keith Surgat, as Kriske did not, it looked like it, but it was not a penalty. Kriske did not trip the Notre Dame player, but Keith Surgat, who was across the ice, called the penalty right in front of the Bronco bench, and Kriske heads to the penalty box. Yet another Notre Dame power play, and Dave Kriske got a bad break. He did not trip that Notre Dame skater who fell down on his own. Wow, that was a terrible call. 10 seconds left in the second period. 2-0 Western Michigan. Something comes out of the stands. Now we're ready to go. Jason Maul on the face-off to Chris Frank. 6 seconds left to go in the second period. They jam it up in front of the Notre Dame bench. Irish skated over the line. Broncos knock it away as the horn sounds. The period comes to an end. Notre Dame will have a minute 50 of power Western Michigan 2. Notre Dame nothing. After 2 here at Lawson Arena, we'll take a break and we'll be back. This is the Bronco Radio Network. Underway in the third period. Notre Dame on the power play, working left to right. Minute 42 left to go in Kriski's penalty. The puck pops up into the air. It hit the end zone netting, and it's whistled down. The draw will be in the Western Michigan zone. Now they're going to bring it out of the zone. Last touch by Notre Dame. Kyle Lawson shaking his head. I didn't touch that. Officials didn't buy it. The draw. Deeth battling there with Shahura. And the Irish have it in. Here's Condra. Sends it across to Thang. Thang leaves it for Lawson, who rings it around to the left side. Eric Condra sends it to the corner. Comes out to Shahura, and he'll fire it down the ice. David Brown leaves it in front of the net. Now sweeps it in behind the goal. And here comes Noah Babin with a burst out of his own end. Babin, the D-man for Notre Dame, up the right side to Lawson, who shoots it in. After it is Kevin Deeth in the corner, leaves it for Thang. Intercepted by the Broncos and cleared out of there by Marley. 58 seconds left to go in the power play for Notre Dame. They trailed the Broncos 2-0 here at Lawson. Let's try to knock off another ranked opponent. Up the right side is Van Gelder, who'll shoot it in. In behind the goal, Ansel sends it all the way around, held in by Wes O'Neill to left point. Right point to Skiba. Josh sends it to the corner. After it is Ludwig. Can't control it. It comes back to Skiba. Left point O'Neill. Left circle. Now to Van Gelder. He'll go back to the point. Now it's set up the left wall to Page. He'll send it to the corner. Regan after it there. Now side of the goal, Van Gelder poked away by Jason Moll. Back to the left point, O'Neill. Knocked away from him by Matt Claxton. And back after it is Skiba in his own end. 10 seconds left to go in the Notre Dame power play. Out with it come the Irish up the right side. Van Gelder to O'Neill. Lead over the line to Regan. Off his stick, played by Marley out of the zone. Kriski's out of the box. O'Neill sends it back in as Notre Dame makes the change. Bellissimo in behind the net. Brings it off the high glass out of the zone to Lavecchio. He'll tap it out to center. Kissel has it back in for Notre Dame. Ahead to Justin White. Shoots and a stick save by Bellissimo. Into the corner after it is Frank. On the back wall, Marley. Side of the goal, he's tied up by Kissel. Ryan falls on the puck. Still no whistle, and then it's cleared out of there by the Broncos. Picked up at center by Sheehan, over to Sawatsky, who shoots it in. Behind the goal, Bellissimo. Left it there for Frank, off to Ryan Marley. He'll chip it off the glass, out to center for Pierce, who drives it in. The Broncos change up. 2.5 minutes gone in the third. 2-0 Western Michigan. In behind the goal, this is Sawatsky. Side of the goal, David Kriski. Kriski in the circle, shoots right on, and Brown with a save. Played by Claxton in the corner. Claxton over to Labatt. Kevin Labatt for Western Michigan. On the half boards for Kriski. Kriski fights off the check of Sheehan. Got it over to Chris Claxton. He got knocked down. Now after it is O'Neill. Pokes it out to center for Evan Rankin. Evan shoots it in. And behind the goal, played by Bellissimo. Leaves it there for Lupa. Lupa lugs it out for the Broncos to center. Jonathan Lupa shoots it in. In deep in the Notre Dame Dame zone. The Broncos change it up. Out comes Notre Dame. TJ Gindra shoots it in. Then Lupa sends it all the way back down again. That'll be an icing call, and we'll get a break. 3.5 minutes gone in the third. 2-0 Western Michigan. Now this from the Notre Agency on the Bronco Radio Network. Trailing 2-0 with possession in the neutral zone. Bartlett skates it in for the Irish on the left side. In deep with Skiban Gindra. Sent around to the right side. The Broncos gather it up. Matt Claxon. Claxon trying to come up with it. Pokes it out to center. Now Ansel trailing on the play. Comes up with it for Western Michigan. Nathan turning along the line. Moves it over to Silver and Steven. Over to Brett John, who shoots it in. Broncos change up. Out comes Lavecchio with Shahura and Gallivan. 15:50 left in the third. 2-0 Western Michigan. Here's a turnover by Notre Dame. Gallivan has it on the left side. Holds it at the half boards. Deflects over the right point for Marley in front. Lavecchio with a redirect just wide. Over on the right side, Page with Shahura. In deep to Lavecchio. Lavecchio for Western Michigan. Turns, shoots. Hit the side of the net. It's up on the side, and it's whistled down by Keith Surga. Faceoff will be in the Notre Dame end after this. 2-0 Broncos on the Bronco Radio Network. Western Michigan zone. Letestu comes up with it, goes rink wide to Frank, ahead to Pierce, off to Bisick, chipped out of there by Notre Dame. Up the right side, Ryan Thang fell down at the blue line, and Marley has it back. Ahead to Pierce, off the wall into the zone of the left wing. Pierce head up looking for a pass, tried to throw it out in front, and it deflected into the corner. Comes back out, and Ryan Thang has it, working on Ryan Marley. Thang going wide on the right side. Marley knocked it away from him. It's poked into the corner by the Broncos, Ludwig. Notre Dame's Deeth turning with it. He is nifty at 5'7". He can really wheel. Deeth on the back wall is pinned by big Tyler Ludwig, and the Broncos clear it down the ice. Lifting it over traffic all the way down it goes. We get a whistle and an icing call, and we'll be back on the Bronco Radio Network. Saved by Bellissimo off the faceoff. The Broncos have it back in their own zone. Ludwig had it, lost it, turned it over to Kissel. Now Ludwig got it back. Here comes Tyler out to center ice. Tyler through the center logo over the line, trying to move it to Matt Claxon, and it's picked up by the Irish. And here comes Kissel through the neutral zone. He's into the right wing. Kissel plays it in deep. Lupa sends it around. Penalty coming up. Interference call. Another Bronco penalty. This one to Brett John. Irish on the man advantage when we return. They trail 2-0 on the Bronco Radio Network. its 9th power play of the game on the interference to Brett John. Turning with it, Notre Dame back to the blue line, Lawson. Lawson sends it into the back wall, and behind the goal, Ryan Thang trying to wheel around in front. Thang back to the left point. Right point, Lawson moves to the middle, shoots and scores. Kyle Lawson on the power play through a screen. Danny never saw it, and Notre Dame pulls within a goal. It's Western Michigan 2, Notre Dame 1, and the goal from the blue line, high slot by Lawson. With our score, Western Michigan 2, Notre Dame 1. We'll be back on the Bronco Radio Network. Lawson with the goal for the Irish, his 3rd of the season. Babin and Thang with the assists. There's a shot by Skiba, went behind the net. It's in the left wing corner. Ansel's after it there with Silver. They whack away at it, and Chris Claxton comes away with it. Chris skates in front of his own netminder and carries the puck to center. Chris Claxton for Western Michigan. Penalty finally to Notre Dame. And you got to believe Keith Sergoff was looking for something. The Broncos have only had 1 power play try to 9 for Notre Dame. Slashing penalty to T.J. Jindra, captain for the Notre Dame team. Actually, this will be the 3rd Bronco power play. Notre Dame 1 for 9. The Broncos 0 for 2. This is the 3rd man advantage for Western Michigan. The Testu to take the face-off against Regan. Off the jaw, Mark won it. Comes back to the blue line. Bicek with a drive. Oh, and almost sneaks one by Brown, but he's got it in the left hand and holds on. Slashing to T.J. Jindra. Letestu out there. Let's take the face off. Won it back to the left point. Bicek held it in. Sends it around behind the net to Pierce. Back to Shahur to the left corner. Letestu. Mark Letestu. Over to Pierce, who got hit up high under the chin. Notre Dame able to clear it down the ice. 35 left in the power play, 12.5 left in the 3rd. Broncos being outshot 27-12, but they lead it 2-1. Here's Letestu with a lead to Shahura. Chips it into the zone. Into the corner. Shahura runs it down. At the half ball, Broncos trying to come up with it, and Notre Dame's got it. This is Van Gelder over the line with Garrett Regan. Regan waits, shoots, scores. Through the foul hole, short-handed, and we're tied at 2. Short-handed goal, Garrett Regan. It's a 2-2 tie, and the Irish with new life. 12-11 up in the 3rd. We'll be back. This is the Bronco Radio Network. Play is in the Notre Dame zone. At the half boards, Broncos still with a minute of power play left. After the short-handed goal, here's Lavecchio skating to the net. Now wheel back into the corner. Sends it into the back wall, picked up there by Gallivan. Gallivan sends it around to the left point, Ansel. Nathan Ansel sends it in deep for Gallivan. Patrick in the corner. Gallivan Sends it behind the net. Notre Dame comes up with it there, and Van Gelder tried to play it off the glass. It stayed in the zone. Claxon chips it in the corner. Chris Claxon into the corner to Lavecchio. Back to the right point, Ansel. Nathan fakes the shot, moves it to Lavecchio, who does shoot. That's broken up. Broncos trying to hold it in. It is kicked out by Van Gelder to center. Now Ansel for Western Michigan. Nathan skates into the left side, lifts it in the corner. And behind the goal, Brown leaves it there. Sent back to the point and by Ansel all the way down. 6 seconds left in the power play. A power play goal and a shorthanded goal by Notre Dame to tie things up at 2 during the midway mark of the third period. Here's Chris Frank to center. He'll shoot it in. Bounces out of the corner around the back wall and a whistle and an icing call. 10:49 left in the third. 2-2 tie. We'll be back on the Bronco Radio Network. In the third, Notre Dame and Western Michigan deadlock at 2. Keith Sergott over talking with Jim Culhane from the Bronco bench. Now we're ready to go. All right, first of all, Keith's going to have a word with his two assistants, Brent Collick and Jared Robinson. Now we're ready. Off the face-off, Shahura and deep. It's won by the Broncos. Bouncing puck. Marley had it. Now he runs it down in the corner and bounces it past the point on the left side. And Notre Dame comes up with it in a neutral zone. Blatchford sends it across. D to Lawson. Sent in. Shahura clears it back out. Kevin Dietz in on the left wing side. Dietz with speed. Drops it off to Fang. Shoots, didn't get through. There's a shot. Bellissimo knocked that away with a left pad, and it's cleared out of there by the Broncos. 10:20 left to go in the third. Icing against Western Michigan. 2-2 tie. Gallivan in the first period for the Broncos. Lavecchio in the second for the Broncos. Notre Dame has tied it up here in the third period. Goals by Lawson on the power play and by Garrett Regan shorthanded. Off the face-off on the left wing side. O'Neal into the left wing corner. Comes out to Pierce. Can't clear it. Now Ludwig moves it ahead to Letestu. Taps it out to Bicek. They give it back to Letestu. Sent back in by Notre Dame. On the back wall, we get an icing call against the Irish, and the draw will be in the Notre Dame zone. 10:01 left in the third. Broncos 2, Notre Dame 2. Letestu will take the face-off against Jason Page. Page won it. And it's cleared out of there by Notre Dame up the right side of Van Gelder. Van Gelder in front. Regan deflects it up on goal, and Bellissimo makes the save. Regan with that great speed got a stick on that pass. Deflected it up by the goal, and Danny made the save, holding his ground. New group comes out for Western Michigan. Here comes Labatt with Kriske and Chris Claxon. Claxon and Page on the face-off. Page won it back to O'Neal at the right point. He'll send it in deep on the back wall. Claxon moves it over to Kriske, trying to chip it up the boards. And it's cleared out of there to center. Wes O'Neal backpedaling at his own line. Sends it into the zone, deflected by Van Gelder deep, picked off by Silver. Out of the zone to Labatt at center. Labatt to Claxon. He's in with Kriske over the line. Chris Claxon around the D-man, got a backhand shot on Brown, who made the save. On the back wall, Labatt trying to come up with it on the forward check. Notre Dame able to clear it out of there, bouncing puck at center ice. Now Silver moves it ahead. That hit an extra skater coming over the wall. That's going to be too many men on the ice for Notre Dame. And yes, sirree. Too many men for Notre Dame as the puck was played in. It hit the Notre Dame player in front of the bench. Too many men on the ice call. Broncos on the power play next to the Bronco Radio Network. On the power play, their fourth man advantage of the game. Played in deep by Letestu into the left wing corner. Jeff Pierce. Pierce for Western Michigan. Letestu shoots. It was broken up in front, didn't get through. Letestu has it back to the point. Marley trying to hold it in, does to Pierce. Jeff Pierce in front. Shahura deflects off Paul to the right side. Played in by Ludwig to the back wall. Into the right wing corner. Letestu taps it to Shahura in behind the goal. Shahura turns in the left corner, back to the blue line. Ludwig winds up, shoots. Brown with a save. Rebound, trickled just wide of the far post. Sent all the way back down by Notre Dame. In behind the net, this is Ludwig for Western Michigan. Tyler carries it away to center ice. Ludwig shoots it in, bounces out of the corner, bouncing puck behind the goal. Around the wall, trying to clearing it is Regan, and he does down the ice. 8:08 left in the third, 2-2 tie. Minute left in the power play. Lavecchio's out there now with Ludwig, Labatt, Ansel, and Gallivan. Over the line, Labatt, the defender fell down. Labatt to the net in front, shot, Gallivan knocked away off the stick of Lavecchio. Labatt after it, cleared out of there by Notre Dame. This is Bartlett to center ice. Bartlett over the line on the left wing side. Bartlett walks the D and on goal. Save Bellissimo! Bartlett got around Ludwig, and then Danny made the stop point blank. 25 seconds left to go on the Bronco man advantage. Lavecchio at center ice. Crosses over the right side and lifts into the zone. Blatchford intercepts and fires it all the way down. 15 seconds left to go in the power play. 2-2 tie with 7:20 left in this third period at Lawson Arena. Nathan Ansel out of his own end to center for Brian Bisick. Bisick around Van Gelder, but he lost possession. Now Jason Ball shoots it in. Power play is over. Notre Dame at full strength. Broncos 0 for 4 in the man advantage tonight. Notre Dame is 1 for 9. Here's Bisick in his own end. Ryan out of his own zone to center. Bisick lifts into the zone for Claxton, who's in on the forecheck. Collides with Bletchford on the back wall. Now Claxton's got it, throws it in front. Went through, picked up by Ryan Thang, and he'll skate it out for Notre Dame. Thang sends it the length of the ice. Knocked away by Bellissimo, side of the goal behind the net to Silver. Here comes Steve out of his own end. The Brighton, Michigan native shoots it in. In behind the goal, knocked down by Brown. And thereafter it is Brett John. Sent to the corner. John after it with Thang. They jam it up in the corner. Shahura for the Broncos in the right wing corner. Shahura takes it back to the right boards. Got two-time there. Fights off the check. Got knocked down. Got back up. Notre Dame has it behind the net. Lawson. Kyle Lawson out of his own zone. Up the right side of Page. Page into the right wing. Wiped out of there by Shahura's check. Now Shahura in the corner trying to come up with it. Battling with Kissel. Comes back to O'Neill at the point. Wes O'Neill sends it in a rolling puck all the way around. Picked up by Lupa. Lupa pokes it up in the air. It goes onto the Bronco bench out of play. 5:42 left in the third. It's 2-2. We'll be back on the Bronco Radio Network. effort by Matt Claxton on the forecheck to hold that puck in deep in the left wing corner. Claxton trying to come up with it, throws it out in front of the net. Nobody there for the Broncos, and White clears it away for Notre Dame. Dumped in by the Irish. Kissel sends it into the right wing corner. After it is Evan Rankin on the right wall. Rankin tied up by Ansel. They jam it up in the corner. Comes up the boards, and Pierce has it away for Western Michigan. Jeff Pierce to center. Pierce shoots it in, and the Broncos will change up with 5 minutes to go in the third, a 2-2 tie. Here we go with Kyle Lawson to center. Lawson for Notre Dame has one of their 2 goals. Slipped it into the seats, into the student section. Look out over there. And the faceoff will be in the neutral zone below us. 4:49 to go in the third. We're tied at 2. Broncos led 2-0 after 2. Notre Dame has scored twice here in the third period. One on the power play, one shorthanded. Chris Claxton out with Labatt and Dave Kriske. O'Neill has it for Notre Dame off the draw to Garrett Regan, poked away by Lupa to center. Labatt shoots it in, a bouncing puck into the left wing corner. Back after it is Page, sends it to the back wall. In there deep on the forecheck, Labatt with Dave Kriske trying to come up with it. Comes out to Chris Claxton. Claxton winds up, shoots, missed the net. Comes back to Lupa at the right point. He'll throw it at the goal. Wide of the net. Out of the corner, it caroms up the left side for Claxton, trying to hold it in with Ludwig. And Noah Babin has it in front of the Notre Dame bench. Babin trying to work around Lupa. Lupa takes him out of the play. Ludwig trying to send a clearing pass. Comes out to the blue line, but not out. Loose in front of the net. Regan whacking at it, and the Broncos deflect it down the ice. 4 minutes to go in the third, and a 2-2 tie. Out comes Lavecchio with Shahura. Lavecchio's got it in on the left wing side. Vecchio shoots right on. Brown with a save. Lavecchio has it again. Sends it to the right wing corner. Lawson there for Notre Dame. Kyle Lawson takes it to center ice. Stripped away by the back check of Shahura. Picked up trailing by Deep. Now Gallivan has it. Chips it off the glass, but not out. Held in by Fang. Ryan Fang in behind the goal. Fell down. And Western Michigan has it away. This is Chris Frank for the Broncos. Chips it ahead over the line to Lavecchio. Lavecchio fell down, got back up. Into the right wing corner, collides with Sawatsky. They whack away at it in the corner. Comes back to Chris Frank. Shoots deflected by a Notre Dame stick. And the Irish have it away. Here comes Thang with a long lead. Eric Condra over the line. Stripped away by the defenseman Chris Frank in the corner. Picked up by Marley around to Gallivan, and he'll send it all the way down. That's icing. We'll get a break. 3 minutes to go. Tied at 2 on the Bronco Radio Network. Broncos control. Pierce has it in behind the net. Inside of 3 minutes to go in the third, a 2-2 tie. Here's Steve Silver up on the right wing side. Silver throws it at the net. Brown catches that knuckler and holds on. Silver trying to slide one through the pads of David Brown. Second in the nation in goals against average. Brown coming into the game. A 1.76. Notre Dame leading the nation in scoring defense. Off the draw. Broncos win it. Ansel with a rocket. Side of the goal. They score. It's Jeff Pierce. Pierce scores on the rebound, and the Broncos take a 3-2 lead with 2:45 left to go. Shot came from the right point. Was knocked down in front. Deflected over to Pierce, who was on his knees, but he got enough on it to get it by and into the back of the net. Jeff Pierce with his 9th of the year, and the Broncos lead it 3-2. Ansel and Letestu assisting at 17-14. Here we go, off the draw. draw. Brett John clears his zone. Out to center. Wes O'Neill moves it over to Babin. Babin shoots it in. Bellissimo knocks it down in front. Played by Frank. He'll chip it out to center ice. Pedaling is O'Neill. Moves it over to center to Page. Intercepted by Brett John. Moves it out to Jason Mall. Now Notre Dame regroups in the neutral zone. They've got it, and Babin shoots it in. Sends it off the back glass behind the goal. Marley takes it into the corner. Moves it out to the blue line. There's a shot from the point by Babin. Knocked down by Bellissimo. Broncos cleared out to the point, but Babin held it in. Still on the right wall and behind the goal. Played by Notre Dame. Van Gelder for the Irish off to Babin in the right circle. Babin to the net. Shoots at the side of the goal. Picked up by Matt Claxton. He'll lug it out of there. Minute 50 to go. Claxton will just shoot it down the ice. An icing call. We'll get a draw on the Western Michigan end. With 1:45 to go. Broncos on top, 3-2. Shots are 31-19 Notre Dame. Broncos looking for their 31st victory over a ranked opponent in the Jim Culhane era. Off the draw. Won by Western Michigan. Here's Lavecchio out of his own zone. Lavecchio to center with a burst over the line to Letestu. Offside. Just offside of the right wing. Mark couldn't hold his edge at the blue line. Broncos 3, Notre Dame 2. Pierce, Calavano, Lavecchio, the goal scorers tonight. Notre Dame with a pair here in the third to erase a 2-0 deficit, but Jeff Pierce with a go-ahead goal. A minute 37 left to go. On the right side, played in by Letestu. And behind the net, setting up is Lawson, who has one of the 2 Notre Dame tallies tonight. Up the right side for deep to Ryan Fang. Poke to the corner for the Broncos. Lavecchio after to the right wing corner. Deep after it. He's pinned by Shahura. Lavecchio chips it up off the glass to the point. Lawson, who knocks it down, skates it in deep. Lawson shoots it, didn't get through. Deflects to the corner. Letestu after it. And he got it past the point man, Bletchford, on the left side. Bletchford across to Lawson in the right wing, shoots it in. Bouncing puck, Ludwig in the corner. David Brown goes to the bench with 55 seconds to go. Empty net the other way. Broncos lead it 3-2. Notre Dame with the extra attacker. And behind the net, Fang after it. Tied up by Ludwig. Comes down the slot to Letestu. Letestu trying to clear the zone. Can't do it. Waited too long. Didn't pull the trigger. And the Irish able to come up with it. Now Letestu's got it. He'll lift it down the ice. Bouncing puck down the ice it goes. Regan runs it down. Broncos change up. 28 seconds left to go in the third. 3-2 Western Michigan. On the right side, Marley sends it all the way around, but not out. Held in by O'Neill. He'll fire it in the corner. Shot from the corner. Deflected by Bellissimo out of play. 16 seconds left to go. 3-2 Western Michigan. See if Jeff Jackson opts for a timeout here. So far, he's not opting for the timeout. Doesn't want Coach Culhane to be able to set up his defense. Let's see if he decides to call a timeout. So far, no timeout call. Broncos ready to go. Letestu on the draw with Justin White. 16 seconds left. Now, are they going to use the timeout? No timeout. They're looking to the bench, but he's not going to call one. He's got to get a... Well, now he is going to call a timeout. Keith Sergat comes over to the Notre Dame bench to talk to Jeff Jackson. And we do get the Notre Dame timeout. Western Michigan 3, Notre Dame 2. We'll take a break and hear this from Miller Brewing Company on the Bronco Radio Network. Lavecchio after to the right. He's on the rebound. draw. Broncos win it. Ansel with a rocket. Side of the goal. They score. It's Jeff Pierce. Notre Dame leading the nation in scoring defense. Off the draw. Notre Dame leading the nation in scoring defense. Off the draw. 16 seconds left to go off the Notre Dame timeout. Comes back to Lawson at the left point, sends into the left wing corner. And behind the net on the back wall, Ryan Fang sends it to the corner. There's a shot knocked away by Bellissimo. Flex over to O'Neal, 4 seconds to go. Side of the goal. Condra can't pull the trigger. And the seconds tick off, and the game is over. Jeff Pierce with a game-winning goal late in the third period, and the Broncos have defeated first place and third-ranked Notre Dame. Final tonight at Lawson Arena. The Broncos 3, Notre Dame 2. Our post-game coverage is next after this timeout on the Bronco Radio Network.